Why do strong women fall for some men and completely ignore others? It's not about money. It's not about looks. It's about something deeper, something 99% of men will never see or understand. The quiet psychological weaknesses she hides behind her smile, her armor, her words. The men who see this, they don't just win her attention, they earn her respect, her trust, and something far more powerful. Are you ready to be one of those men? But before moving to it, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Eye of Stoic family, where men rise with purpose, power, and peace. Now get to the topic back. She tests your strength, pushes your limits, and hides what truly makes her vulnerable. Most men chase what's on the surface, but real men dive deeper. Because understanding these 11 female weaknesses isn't about control. It's about clarity, wisdom, and true connection. When you know this, you stop reacting and start leading. Calm, confident, unshakable. Let's dive into knowing these 11 female weaknesses in detail. Number 1. She needs to feel safe with you. Listen carefully. This is where every strong man either rises or falls. A woman's deepest need is to feel safe, not just in her body, but in her heart and mind. Safety is the foundation she builds everything on. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about that. You control your calm, your presence, your strength. When you master that, you become her shelter in the storm. This isn't about being a knight in shining armor or a protector from danger only. It's about being the calm force she can rely on when the world is chaotic. When she speaks her fears, don't dismiss them. Stand steady. When life pushes hard, don't break or panic. Show her your strength is unwavering. She will test this. Not to break you, but to find her safe place in your soul. Be patient. Be solid. Her walls fall only when she trusts the ground beneath her. You hold the key to this safety through your discipline, your control over your emotions, and your silent power. Never forget, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. Show her that you are a man who chooses strength, wisdom, and calm, not anger or chaos. When she feels safe, her real self comes forward, vulnerable, open, and alive. That's where connection begins. That's where true power lies. Number 2. She wants your real attention. When she talks, does she feel heard or just listened to? There's a huge difference. Real attention means more than just hearing words. It means feeling understood, seen, and valued. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." Your attention is that cliff. Calm, strong, unshaken. When she pours out her thoughts, your focused presence is her refuge. She hides so much behind her smile and silence. Fears, dreams, doubts. If you only half listen, you miss the truth beneath. Give her your full presence. Look into her eyes, not the phone or the TV. Show her she is more important than anything else in that moment. This is seduction beyond touch. It's the purest form of connection. When she senses you truly care, that your mind is there with hers, her walls dissolve. Her energy opens like a flower to the sun. Yet, it requires discipline. Your mind wanders by nature. It craves distraction. But strength is choosing to bring it back. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Practice this. Listen deeply. Speak with meaning. Remember, attention is respect. It says, "You matter." No woman forgets a man who makes her feel truly seen. That kind of presence builds trust, desire, and loyalty. So, put away the noise. Focus. Be that rock she can rest her mind on. In attention lies power, and power is irresistible. Number 3. She needs you to be consistent. Consistency. It's the silent strength many men overlook. But to her, it's everything. She doesn't just want grand gestures. She wants steady actions day after day that prove you're real and reliable. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Consistency means your words match your actions. No surprises, no games, just steady, dependable truth. She watches how you handle the small things, your mood, your promises, your habits. Because if you can't be consistent in those, how can she trust you with her heart? Think about this. Emotions are like the sea, sometimes calm, sometimes stormy. But a strong man is like the lighthouse, unwavering, guiding her through those waves. She needs to know you won't disappear when the storm hits. Consistency creates safety. It shows discipline and respect, not just for her, but for yourself. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Be the man who shows up every day, with honesty, with strength, with purpose. Without consistency, desire fades, doubt grows, walls go up. But with it, attraction deepens, connection roots itself. It's the quiet power of being steady, even when nothing dramatic happens. Seductive? Absolutely. Because it says you're a man who can be counted on, a man who is grounded. And that's the kind of strength that makes her heart settle and her soul trust. Chapter 4. She craves your emotional control. She's not asking you to be cold or distant. She wants you to be in control, calm, steady, unshaken by life's chaos. Because emotional control is the backbone of true strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This means your feelings don't control you. You control your feelings. When life throws punches, anger, frustration, jealousy, she watches how you respond. Do you lose your temper, or do you remain calm? Do you spiral into drama, or do you bring peace? Women instinctively sense a man's inner world. If you're reactive, she feels unsafe. If you're steady, she feels drawn to you. This is raw masculinity, power wrapped in calm. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Emotional control isn't weakness or hiding feelings. It's facing adversity with courage. The seductive pull comes from this quiet mastery, your ability to hold your ground when emotions run high. It says, "I am not a victim of my feelings. I am a master of myself." Practice this daily. When anger rises, breathe and pause. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself what matters. This discipline builds unshakable confidence. When she sees this strength, her respect and desire grow. Because a man who rules himself becomes a man worth following. That's the kind of power that's magnetic and lasting. Emotional control is your silent declaration. I am steady. I am strong. I am yours. Number 5. She needs a man with purpose. She's not just drawn to a man who's there. She's drawn to a man who knows why he's there. Purpose is magnetic. It's the flame that lights up your path, and she feels that fire even before you say a word. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Purpose begins inside, with clear, focused thoughts that guide every choice you make. When you have purpose, you don't drift. You don't waver. Your life has direction, and she sees that strength in your eyes. It's not about flashy goals or bragging rights. It's about quiet conviction. The kind that pushes you forward when the world pushes back. Seneca taught, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Without purpose, you're lost, and so is she. She needs to know you're a man who sails with a destination, no matter how tough the seas. Purpose means discipline. It means choosing what matters and cutting out the noise. It means waking up each day with intention, not just going through the motions. And it means being the kind of man who protects that purpose with all his heart. When she sees that, something deep inside stirs. She feels safe knowing you aren't just living for comfort or fleeting pleasures. You live for something real, something bigger. That energy pulls her closer. Purpose isn't just attractive, it's seductive. So stand tall. Know your why. Let your purpose be the silent force that shapes your actions and your love. Because a man with purpose is a man who commands respect and keeps desire burning strong. Number 6. She feels the power of your silence. There's a strength in silence that most men never understand. She watches not only what you say, but what you don't say. Your silence speaks louder than words. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be silent, or let your words be worth more than silence." It's not about shutting down or avoiding talk. It's about knowing when to hold back, when to listen, and when to let your presence do the talking. Silence is your unspoken power. It shows you're not desperate to fill every moment with noise. It shows you're calm, collected, and in control. A man who doesn't need validation or approval. Women sense this deeply. When you remain silent instead of reacting, you create space for clarity. You invite respect, curiosity, and even desire. Epictetus reminded us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening is an act of strength, not weakness. Silence gives her room to share, to reveal herself. And when she feels heard, she feels closer. But silence isn't just about listening. It's about holding your power. It's the space where your confidence grows, your thoughts sharpen, your spirit steadies. The seductive pull of a quiet man is real, because silence signals you're secure within yourself. You don't need to prove anything. You are enough. In a world obsessed with noise and distraction, your silence is a refuge. It's a statement. I am here. I am strong. I am steady. So don't rush to fill the void. Learn the power of pause. Let your silence speak volumes. That's the kind of magnetic presence that keeps her wanting more. Number 7. She respects the man who controls his own mind. True power starts in the mind. She notices the man who doesn't let his thoughts run wild, who holds the reins tight, no matter the storm inside. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't just philosophy, it's a way of life. The man who controls his mind controls his world, and that control is magnetic. When she sees you calm in chaos, steady in uncertainty, she respects you, because most men crumble under pressure. But you rise. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your mind shapes your reality, and your reality shapes her trust in you. Control isn't suppression, it's awareness. It's the power to pause before reacting, to choose wisdom over anger, patience over frustration. This mental discipline is seductive because it means you are the captain of your soul. When she feels that, she feels safe. Safe enough to be vulnerable, to be real. because a controlled mind isn't just strength for yourself. It's strength she can lean on. Imagine the quiet confidence of a man who's unshaken by gossip, drama, or doubt. A man who doesn't chase validation, but lives by his own truth. That's the man she respects. That's the man she's drawn to. So master your mind. Own your thoughts. Be the man who stands tall, because his strength is not from outside. It's from within. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Color your soul with discipline, wisdom, and control. That's the power she can't resist. Number 8. She values your honesty over flattery. Truth is rare. Most men think women want sweet words, empty compliments, or smooth talk. But she wants something deeper. Honesty. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Flattery is easy. Truth is hard. She senses when you're genuine. When you speak with honesty, even if it's tough, she respects you more than any flattering lie. Honesty builds trust. Without trust, there is no connection. Flattery fades. Truth lasts. Seneca reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Honesty means living in reality. No masks, no pretending. When you're honest, she knows she's standing with a man who owns his words and actions. Honesty isn't about being blunt or cruel. It's about courage. The courage to say what's real, to admit mistakes, to be open about your feelings. When she sees you speak truth, it stirs something inside. It creates a deep, quiet attraction because she feels safe. Flattery is like a mask that slips. Honesty is the solid ground beneath your feet. So, be real. Speak your truth with calm and respect. Let your honesty be the bridge that connects your soul with hers. Because a man who speaks truthfully is a man who commands respect and keeps desire alive. Number 9. She responds to your consistency, not promises. Words are cheap. Promises are easy to make and easy to break. But consistency, that's the real test. She watches what you do, not what you say. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them, you have learned to think better, to be a more disciplined person." Action reveals character. Consistency shows you are reliable, steady, and trustworthy. A woman's heart isn't won by empty words, but by dependable actions. When you keep your word, even in small things, she feels your strength. That steady rhythm creates a foundation she can lean on. Seneca reminds us, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Consistent effort takes courage. It means showing up even when it's hard. It means being present, dependable, and true. Promises build hopes. Consistency builds realities. She senses when your actions align with your words and when they don't. If you want to stand out, be the man who follows through. Not for show, but because you honor your own discipline and respect her trust. When your behavior is steady, calm, and predictable in its integrity, she feels safe. That safety creates space for love, respect, and deeper connection. Remember, desire thrives on trust, and trust thrives on consistency. Be that man, the man who doesn't just promise but delivers day after day, because real strength is shown quietly, not loudly. Number 10. She feels safe when you are emotionally present. Emotions are powerful. But true strength isn't about hiding feelings or shutting down. It's about being present with them, especially for her. She notices when you truly listen, when your attention isn't scattered, when your presence is steady. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Being emotionally present means showing up fully, heart and mind aligned. It's tempting to retreat into silence or distraction when things get tough. But she needs you there, solid, calm, and connected, not lost in your own world, but open to hers. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Emotionally present men don't chase validation or excitement. They create calm, safe spaces where she can breathe, be vulnerable, and trust. When you are truly present, you hold the power to heal fears she may not even speak aloud. This presence is seductive because it shows control, maturity, and real care. Not every man can do this. Most get caught in distractions or emotional chaos. But the man who stands firm in emotional presence is a rare kind of strong. Remember, presence isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional focus. It's listening without judgment, holding space without rushing, and loving without conditions. She feels safe when she knows you're there for her, not just in the good times, but through the storms. So practice being present. Let your eyes, your silence, your steady heart speak louder than words, because in that presence, she finds a strength that makes her want to stay and trust. Number 11. She is attracted to a man who practices self-discipline. Self-discipline is quiet power. It's the daily choices no one sees, the mornings you wake early, the temptations you resist, the emotions you master. She feels it deeply, even if she doesn't say it. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It's what turns a man's word into action and his potential into reality. She's drawn to a man who controls himself, who doesn't let cravings, fears, or distractions rule him. Not because he's perfect, but because he's committed to growth, to becoming better every day. Seneca reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom is self-control. When you master your habits, your moods, your thoughts, you become a steady force she can rely on. Self-discipline means saying no when it's easier to say yes. It means showing up even when motivation fades. It means honoring your values over fleeting pleasures. When she sees this in you, it sparks deep respect and attraction. Because discipline reveals strength of character, courage, and wisdom. This is not about rigidity or harshness. It's about balance, patience, and knowing what truly matters. In every choice you make, you send a message. I am a man who leads himself. I am a man who can lead others. And she feels it, this silent power pulling her closer. So cultivate self-discipline, not just for yourself, but for the connection it builds. Because the strongest men don't just win battles outside, they conquer themselves first. Final reflection. Own your power. Live your truth. You've seen the 11 weaknesses, hidden cracks she guards behind her smile. But here's the truth. It's not about using them against her. It's about knowing them so you can rise above. So you can build a version of yourself she wants to be near. Marcus Aurelius taught, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every challenge, every weakness you discover is a chance to grow stronger, to sharpen your mind, your heart, your will. Remember, strength isn't loud or flashy. It's calm control. It's steady presence. It's living with purpose beyond momentary desires. The man who understands these truths commands respect, not through force, but through discipline, through emotional mastery, through consistent quiet power. If you want real connection, start by mastering yourself. Be the man who doesn't just react to life, but shapes it. The man who stands steady when storms hit. The man who embraces his own flaws and works daily to improve. She's watching, always sensing your energy. Be the man who inspires her, not just with words, but with actions. This is the path of the Stoic. This is the way of real masculine strength. Own it, live it, and watch how everything changes. If you found value here, join the Eye of Stoic family. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more real, raw truths. Walk this path with us. Strength awaits.